Hey everybody, Kevin Harned with you. Hope you're having a good evening, and hopefully you made it through that wind. I know we had a few thousand folks without power, but all in all, we escaped this one. Now, this storm system is very large. It's still moving across the country. We've got a lot to talk about. Today, in some cases, was the minor day and was the easiest to forecast. We knew it was going to be windy today. We look forward to the next several days where we've got some challenging winter weather to forecast, and that's what we'll focus on as we roll through the next few minutes here. So we've got you up. I see a lot of folks jumping in. Hayden, hello back to you. Scott, watching from St. Matthews, saying hello. No severe weather tonight. Andre also coming in saying hello. So we see your sort of text that you're sending us, whether that's through YouTube or whether that's Twitter or Facebook. So we appreciate all of the comments. Hello, Nancy, saying hello. Back at you. All right, I want to jump in. I'm just going to pop up the information to the side here, and we'll start with what's happening across the area tonight. First of all, the rain is tapering off. We have had some rain today, decent amount of that. We've had some wind today. So a lot of folks jumping in. We'll give it just a few minutes. I see some folks from Bardstown down in my area. There's Paula from North Vernon. There's Amanda from Bardstown, Shepherdsville chiming in with Mary. We've got other folks down in Nelson County, Jenna coming in. Hello back at you. We appreciate Marion County. There's Tammy watching. So a lot of folks jumping in. We love that. We're going to have a discussion here. This is going to go two ways, meaning back and forth. I see your questions coming in, and we'll jump on. I want to go through things first, and I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or let me know if everybody can hear me okay. I can hear myself in my ear, so I'm assuming you can at home. What I'm going to do is go through what we've seen today, what's coming our way tonight, the challenges that are presented in the forecast as we look to the weekend and early next week. And then we'll get into, okay, thank you guys. Appreciate the thumbs ups there. And then we'll get into some of your questions. All right. So let's just jump into it. We'll start with what's happening today. We had 57 mile per hour winds. That was the top wind speed I could find, and that's in Lexington. When we look at all the airports, it was 51 Bowman Field. That's a pretty hefty wind gust. You know, all week, even last week, we were saying, we've got to watch Tuesday and Friday. By the time it got to Monday, we were like, man, it's going to be a repeat performance. We've got high winds Tuesday, but it looks like it could be even stronger on Friday. Well, we hit 50-plus mile per hour winds Tuesday. In Louisville today, we hit 51 at Bowman Field. Very similar to what we saw on Tuesday. Now, this isn't everywhere, of course, but at those particular locations. The airport, for instance, the Louisville airport, the International, Muhammad Ali, picked up 44 mile per hour wind gust. Bowling Green was at 42, and Frankfurt was at 41. All right, so those were the peak wind gusts at those ASOS stations that we have around. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to expect these winds to die down slowly. We still got gusts 30 to 35 overnight tonight, so it's still going to be breezy. The direction of the wind changes, and that brings in the colder air. And by morning, we're talking temperatures in the 20s. Now, all the high wind warnings have been faded out. A lot of debate on whether it should have been a high wind warning or keep it as a wind advisory. Listen, I'm not in the job to tell the Weather Service what to do. What I can do is tell you what I think the winds are going to be. You have to determine how you and your family are best protected by that. And we said between that 50 and 60 mile per hour wind range today. We have 51 in St. Matthews. Not bad. All right. Look at the wind advisory. Now we're looking at the winds currently. 31 mile per hour still in Louisville, 32 Seymour, 43 in Evansville. So we've still got some gusty winds, especially back out to the west of us. These are current temperatures. Notice the temperatures in Evansville, just 1 degree above freezing at 33. We're at 41, but our temperature's falling fairly fast. These are rain totals for today. We picked up over an inch of rain in Louisville. Most areas picked up a decent rainfall today. So we're going to see more in terms of rain before the night is up, before it transitions to a period of snow showers or flurries. Not a lot more, but at least some. All right. So that sort of gets us through where we've been today. This is currently where we are. We still have some of that precipitation falling. And notice back on the northern edge of that, as the colder air is coming in, we're starting to see that transition from a little bit of light rain to light snow. That's what we're going to see tonight. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but as temperatures drop into the mid-20s, we could have a few isolated slick spots. We've been talking about that for a long time. This is that monster area of low pressure. It was responsible for blizzard conditions all the way from Michigan, Wisconsin, back into Iowa. So on the northern side of that, it was blizzard. On the southern side of it, we had some strong to severe storms. That's what we've been dealing with today in terms of what the strongest of the winds have done with that pressure gradient. So as the low pressure deepens, the gradient tightens. That gives us those strong winds that we've had across the area. Let's zoom in just a little closer. You can see a few of the snow showers breaking out across Breckinridge County. If anybody's in Breckinridge County, and I see a lot of folks from everywhere, oh no, I see Carrie here. She says she's closing in on 12 hours without power. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope it doesn't last a lot longer because we've got a lot of cold air on the way, and you're going to need power for sure. And my buddy from Canada, Rob, jumping in. I miss you too. You're talking about Rob helped train me. He looks a lot better than I do. You can tell by the picture. Listen, I wasn't the best student of being trained to be in physical fitness, but Rob was helping out. But he jumps, and Rob, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he jumps in an ice lake. You can imagine the temperature in Canada. Every day he jumps in that ice. It's not an ice bath. It's a lake that's iced over. No, thank you. All right. We're going to have more on that. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's jump back to the radar view. A few snow showers. What made me look this way was saying if anybody's in Breckinridge County and can confirm the snow showers falling, there's nothing better than the ground truth. We've got $1 million radars, but the best thing right here, set of eyes. We like the help. All right, this was the futurecast for tomorrow morning. Notice any of the lingering snow showers fade away fairly fast. Isolated slick spot early in the day on Saturday. That's going to be possible. It's going to be cold Saturday. Now watch what happens. And we're just now getting some additional high-resolution data in that will help us for tomorrow. The question is, do we add Saturday as an alert day? Will Saturday evening be tricky? I think it's possible. And I'm going to make that decision by about 10:30 tonight once I get the next suite of data in. And here's why. Because the latest data has been pointing to this Arctic front moving in on Saturday. And what happens with that is as we compress the air, as we bring in that colder air, we're going to wring out some moisture. I don't think it's a lot, but I think it could be a quick half inch of snow. And you say, wow, who can't deal with a half inch? Listen, we can't deal with rain, much less snow. But the bad part is it's not just the snow, it's that it's going to linger. It's going to freeze because look at these temperatures. As the system moves in, boom, there's the snow. Quick half-inch snow, typically not a big deal. But look at the temperatures. Quickly down to 18. Now we're down to near zero, some areas below zero, all by Sunday morning. So as that Arctic front moves in, this is a change from what the modeling had earlier in the week where we thought we might have a day or two to bring in the cold air. No, cold air, very dense, fast moving, no stopping it. The cold air moves in and you can see we're down near zero by early Sunday morning. This could cause some problems Saturday night with that Arctic boundary putting down just a minor amount of snow. It's worth watching, and we'll see what the latest guidance helps us decide. It'll be less than an inch, I think, but again, with those cold temperatures, could be problematic. So when we look at the alert days that we have in place, you'll see Saturday's not there right now. I might add that within the next hour. I think it's worth watching. We do have alert days for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Different reasoning on why we have those alert days. Sunday, because we're going to have those very cold wind chills and the residual moisture from Saturday night, may still have a few slick spots around Sunday morning. Sunday's a cold day. Monday's cold too. And there's potential for additional snowfall on Monday. I'll show you that in a second. Tuesday, we're back into the deep freeze with those wind chills, -5 to -15. Slick roads are still possible, especially if we get the snow on Monday. Now, if we get snow, we could be talking about even colder temperatures. Now, the mayor and his team had their weather briefing today. John Gordon from the National Weather Service had to speak there. I want to take you there.
The front comes down Saturday night between 6 and 9 p.m. What's going to happen? We're going to go below 32 degrees from tomorrow night around 6 to 8 o'clock all the way to Thursday at 1 or 2 o'clock, below 32 degrees.
Yeah, and that's what's problematic. When we get down below that number, we could have some problems. And that's not the core of the cold. That rolls in by Sunday. Then we got Monday and Tuesday. Lots to look at when we start talking about where we'll be with temperatures in the long term. So let me show you just a couple of maps. This is the wind chill early Sunday morning. I mentioned temperatures would be in the single digits, close to zero. Some areas could be below zero. But even with a minor wind, look at where our wind chills are. We're talking anywhere between 5 and 15 below zero Sunday morning. Now, that's a cold trip to church, right? So you have to bundle up if you choose to get out. The Arctic blast has been on our radar, so to speak, for a long time. We knew the piece of that polar jet would break off, move down across the country, and here it is. And it's going to be with us this week, all week, really. So with that, we wind up seeing a couple of waves of, sorry, let me take the comment off. I've got like 6 computers in front of me. We wind up seeing that cold air push all the way down into the deep south, by the way. I mean, this is going all the way down to Texas, Florida. Nobody's escaping the cold. It's just the farther north you go, the colder it gets. The snow potential is over us. We see several waves, 3 distinct waves move across this cold. And when we talk about waves, we're talking about pieces of energy, vertical motion that would help wring out some of the precipitation. Question is, how much moisture will be available in the atmosphere as that happens? Oftentimes we dry it out. It's not the case this time. We still have some available moisture that could give us some snowfall. Now, trying to pinpoint exactly where this will be has been tough. We've drawn this map. This isn't accumulation total. It's any amount of snow. Where's going to be the best place to see any amount of snow in our area? Well, there's a good chance everywhere that we're going to see at least a covering of snow. There's a better chance to our south, and the best chance is a little further south in our southernmost counties. So that should just give you an idea that the better chances for snow doesn't mean it's necessarily the deepest snow or the most snow, but snow in general would be to our south. Just a southern track that this is taking. All right, I got a lot of numbers here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I do want to at least point out a couple of things. Let me turn this on. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. You're going to see that temperatures will be falling fairly fast through this. It cranks out. We're just going to look at a couple things. We'll point out wind chills, snow potential. This cranks out about a ½ inch of snow Saturday into early Sunday. All right. You say, oh, okay. Not a huge deal. Oh, no. Hang on. The mouse was delayed. Let me go back to that map. This is the HRRR. Bear with me. Let me pull back up the drawing feature. It's loading. It'll take just a second. It'll pop up where those clouds are. It's always better above the clouds. It's always a good, nice, sunny day there. All right, here's the HRRR. Now, let's move through the models. I'm going to move through the suite of models that we look at. A lot of numbers, a lot of maps, however you want to look at it, whether it's in numerical order or on the maps. I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, you'll notice these temperatures by early Sunday, single digits down to 2 degrees. Notice the wind chill, 10 to 15 below zero. The snow, not all that impressive, 1/10 of an inch. But as we get out in time, it brings eventually more snow in here, over an inch. This isn't going to be some massive winter storm, I don't think. But let's just focus on Saturday night, Sunday morning. 1/10 of an inch of snow, wind chill's the bigger problem. All right, fair enough. That's what that model says. We say looking at computer models or weather models is like looking at art. It's subjective as to what you may see. Brian can look at one model, Ryan, Tawana, myself. We can all see and pick out different things that we think, and not necessarily what just the numbers say, but what that would mean for the next step in the model. It's just how the atmosphere works, what we think will happen next based on our education. So this is the NDFD. So from the Weather Service, again, wind chills are down below zero by Sunday morning. You can see that. You'll notice the temperatures are above the single digits, but barely 10 for the low. All right, we go to the next suite of models. This takes us to the NAM, the North American model. Again, we're looking just at a couple of time periods, and then we'll get to Monday into Tuesday. All right, so again, I'm going to focus here where we have temperatures by Sunday morning, 10 above, wind chills 15 below. The snow is about a 1/2 inch. Now that's by Sunday morning, enough to cause some problems. And then you can see it cranks out about storm total 3.5 inches of snow by the time we hit Monday afternoon. Temperatures are very cold through that time. That's the NAM model. All right, let's look at the GEM. This one cold as well, a little shorter in duration in our modeling. 10, wind chills don't go quite as cold. One above, that's the dew point. One below on the wind chill by early Sunday morning. And that's about 1/3 of an inch of snowfall on the ground. All right, very similar. Get the idea. By Saturday night, Sunday morning, anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of snow looks probable. The wind chills are going to be an issue because they're going to be below zero. And in many cases, double digits below zero. We look at the GFS and the European models when we go further out in time. And again, this is the GFS, still showing temperatures single digits, wind chills below zero, close to 1/2 an inch of snowfall. That's for Sunday morning. What about the, and I should mention, these models are from this afternoon. The new updates will be coming in within the next 2 hours, and for the Euro overnight. So we'll be getting new data. This is the Euro showing wind chills, again, below zero early Sunday. And these are the wind chills in blue and temperatures in the single digits through that time. It also has lower snow totals through that time, about 1/10 of an inch on that for early Sunday. And then brings in just a little more snow. Bottom line on all this is we may have to flag Saturday as an alert day because of some of the issues that we could have when we look at the potential for travel problems. All right. So that's what we'll be focused on as we get a little closer. All right. I went through the numerical models, pointed that out. We can talk about the snow potential for Monday into Tuesday. That modeling also shows the potential for an increase in snow over where we were even earlier today. So there is that potential that these waves that will move through in this very cold air deliver some snow. If I had to be pinned down today and say, how much snow will we get? I do think we have the 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of snow potential early Sunday morning. So Saturday evening into Sunday morning. I think these waves that move through both Monday and Tuesday, so Sunday night into Monday and then Monday into Tuesday, will have the opportunity to bring a couple of inches of snow. That's where I'm lying now. I think the better chance for that 2, 3, 4 inch snowfall may be to our south. Fact is, with the ratios so high, it doesn't take a ton of precipitation or available moisture to get a decent snowfall. All right, let's talk and see what you all have to say. If you have questions, now is the time. So, Cara, let's see. Luis is asking, should we expect more wind in Louisville? The strongest of the winds have eased. We're going to keep these 30-mile-per-hour gusts in the forecast tonight. We'll likely see wind gust over the next several days, anywhere between 15 to 20 miles an hour. Karen's watching from French Lick, and a hello back at you. Darlene says she enjoys the weather updates. Appreciate you watching. We enjoy doing them. We all love weather in our department. It's just a passion for us. And so many of us are from here. Margaret says hello from Lebanon down in Marion County. Let's talk to Courtney. She wants to know, what will the roads be like in Louisville in the morning? Good question. I think we're going to be okay. 95% of the roads will be okay. Here's where we'll have a little bit of a problem, Courtney. And this is any residual moisture that doesn't dry up. The wind is really helping out, so the wind's going to take care of most of this for us. But what doesn't dry will have the ability to freeze. You have to watch protected areas from the wind, in other words. Some of the bridges, overpasses. And if we see any snow showers, once that temperature drops into the upper 20s, we're going to wind up having a few slick spots. So could we have some slick spots early Saturday? Yes, but they would be scattered. Most of the roads should be okay. Amy is asking about snow or ice in the next few days. Well, it is the reason we have the alert days, and I understand you may have typed this before I went through all those numbers, which probably bored everybody to death. But the fact is, we do have the potential for snow and ice beginning tomorrow, late afternoon and evening, and then a few more waves of that coming in late Sunday and then again Monday into Tuesday. And then there'll be another chance late next week, it looks like, perhaps on Friday. So that's where we're looking at for that. All right. Somehow I've lost my background here, so let me just pop this on. All right. And let's see. Who else do we have here? From E-Town, Robin, hello to you. And we've got Gwen saying thank you. You're very welcome. We appreciate you tuning in. We know a lot of people look for weather updates. We have the only streaming weather channel in Louisville. So Wave Weather Now, when we're on live broadcast, including this, but also when we're on during the day, you can find those updates live on that channel. So it's pretty handy. Judy saying hello from Scottsburg. Appreciate that. Thank you for the rain report, Cheryl. We likewise had over an inch of rain here. We will continue to see at least a little bit of drizzle and light rain move through tonight before it transitions to some snow. Nancy's asking about Monday's front bringing any accumulation. The cold front, the Arctic front, moves in tomorrow, but the waves behind that will bring the ability for some accumulation. So I do think that both the Saturday front that brings some light accumulation, that quarter to a half an inch, we'll also see additional waves move through that could bring additional quarter to half an inch, maybe as much as an inch. So if you do that 2 or 3 times, you do wind up with some accumulation on the ground in these cold temperatures. Corinth, Chrissy, thank you for saying hello. Good evening from Hodgenville, not too far from where I grew up. Lisa, thank you. Appreciate that. JMax is asking, will I be able to drive from E-Town to Louisville on 65 safely Monday through Wednesday? Well, let's give it a few days and see what happens. I think there could be some tricky travel in there, especially if we're able to get the snow. It's a little too far out to go much past this weekend. Wilma, hello. Hope all is well down your way. There's Jay Lee from Shelbyville. Some of you just want snow. And see, you are Brian's fans. I know. I'm more of a sunny and like 75 to 80 degree kind of person. But Jeanette says she wants snow. Drop it in St. Matthews, please, and thank you. I love that. Simpsonville, Michael, appreciate you watching over in Shelby County. And we've got Sharon on the line. See, I knew once you all team together, there's no battling the snow lovers. I say you got to feed the snow geese. You all haven't had enough snow this season. The last several seasons, for that matter. I mean, holy cow. How about 2023? It went down as our record least snowiest winter with just such a minuscule amount. Obviously, the snow lovers are like, come on. All right. We've got people watching from near and far. There's Wolfe County. Irene says hello. Bring on the snow. I knew all it would take is one cheering them on. Bots, Christy. All right. If you want snow, that's fine with me. Let's see. This anonymous says one thing I've noticed is the temperature on different apps fluctuate a lot. Well, you know that I can't speak to that because I'm not sure what apps we're talking about. The Wave Weather app, I can tell you on that. We spend a tremendous amount of time updating that manually throughout the day. So, and it's very time consuming, but we know that more people get our weather information from our app than from television. So it's the reason we spend so much time on our app. So if you need an app, the Wave Weather app is there for you. And if you have comments on how to make it better, we're always open to suggestions. We've been able to sort of improve the app over time. You'll see this live broadcast on the app. You're able to submit photos to us. You're able to do a lot of things on the app. We put videos on there from all of our meteorologists, whether that's Hokie Weather Facts, Brian's update on the blogs, which he also does live, Tawana Science Behind the Forecast, our daily weathercast. But it's a powerful app. We appreciate folks that have our app. Watching from Seymour, Indiana, there's Loretta Morris, Mount Washington. Appreciate that, Mindy. Again, I know Courtney, that's like the third bots Courtney has chimed in on. And we've got -6 degrees for Seymour. Yeah, you saw the maps, Amy. So it is going to be super cold for tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. And then the cold lingers in that 10-day forecast. In fact, I didn't show the 10-day, but I can put it in here for you. Let me swing it over. The 10-day forecast is not pleasant when you look out through the week ahead. We're talking temperatures that bounce back and forth a little bit, but when you're in the teens and bouncing into the 20s, does that really matter? Some people would argue not. I'll put up the 10-day showing the alerts. Give it a second to load here, and I'll push it in. So it's popping up. We've got alert days Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, may add Saturday coming up here. And it's just about loaded. And there's the 10-day earliest alert. And I'll just keep that up while we talk here. How's that? All right. Oh, there's Alan. Alan's coming in. Alan, there's not going to be 10 inches of snow. Alan is a bigger snow lover than Brian. No, not 10 inches of snow, but at least maybe some. Been a while since we've had snow, so even like 1 to 3 inches, we're like, come on, we can do it. I did try. I'm not going to lie. I mentioned this on the news last night. I did try. I have a little bitty snowblower that was given to me, and I thought, you know what? I want to try to get that dude started. I haven't used it in, well, been a while. No luck. Bad gas in the snowblower had bad gas. Anyway, couldn't get it started. So maybe we'll work on it. All right, there's Lisa. Yes, looking a lot cold, I'd say, Lisa. Not just a little. There's my neighbor, Jason. Hello, friend. Yeah, well, I'm glad to see you on here, Jason, because I haven't seen you in the neighborhood in a while. Hardensburg, Breckenridge County, rain there. And it will be rain. I think we don't fall below freezing tonight until once we hit past midnight. And that's when we could see a few residual. Most of the moisture we've exhausted by then. But there's still enough that we could get a dusting of snow by tomorrow morning. Elisha or Elisha saying she's praying for everyone to stay warm. Isn't that the truth? I tell you, with these cold temperatures, it's rough. And, you know, the homeless population it's either increased or they're just in a more visible spot. But the fact is, I'm worried for those folks. And I think Noel Friel on our staff's doing a little bit of reporting on that tonight. But you don't want to have to be outside. And the same goes for the pets. It's just tough when you're talking wind chills below zero by double digits and low temperatures. Remember, was it December of 22? So just over a year ago, we wound up with all the pipes bursting, major problems with that cold coming through. All right, let's see. Alan's not giving up. He's like, there's going to be a big storm Sunday night. We'll see. I'm not going to rule it out, but I wouldn't say a big storm. We would see a big storm by now. Minor snows, I think that's possible, which minor would be 1 to 3 inches is what I would say. Some people would argue that that's major, by the way. All right, we've got Gail in Campbellsville. Hello. Louisville needs the best chance. Courtney wants snow. We might get a little snow. And then finally going to feel like winter, Daniel says. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? We haven't had a stretch of winter. I remember growing up around here, it was like snow, 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 freezing cold. Of course, everybody remembers 94. We're coming up on the 30th anniversary of that. So it's like, oh, man, when's the city going to get shut down again? Probably never. We've learned a lot since that storm. But anyway, that's what on everybody's minds. Frozen pipes, certainly possible with temperatures and an extended period of cold. Sometimes we can escape just like one night of cold, but once you build it in for 2, 3, 4 nights, that's when it gets problematic, because not only it's not always when the pipes freeze that's the problem, it's when they begin to thaw. So if we can freeze them and freeze everything up for a solid week, and then things start to unfreeze, that's when we have the problems, because the pipes burst, but when it's frozen, so it sort of plugs it up. It's when that starts to melt and unfreezes that you realize, oh, got a problem. All right. Let's see. I'm jumping into your comments here. Some people want to know about driving. Listen, first of all, the driving questions are tough because I don't know how well you drive on a good day, much less if there could be snow. Hello from Taylorsville. Back at you, Angela. Yes, Todd. I thought we were going to have a meeting, but I guess we'll have to postpone since the weather is bad. And Felicia, it's been a minute since I've had a chance to thank you for your reports. And Felicia says, thank you to our team. We have a great team. And by the way, I should mention, maybe you've seen it online, but we, of course, Jessica Dobson, she had greener pastures to go to down in Orlando. We hated losing her, but she's down in sunny Orlando. But we just hired a replacement today, Carson Meredith. And Carson is a Louisvillian as well. And he'll be joining us later this month. So he's coming to us from Huntsville, but from here and knows this area, and we'll welcome him. So you'll be hearing more about Carson in the days to come. Evelyn says she hears wind. Going to hear it all night, probably. If you're a light sleeper, tonight is not the night for you. We do have 30, 35 mile an hour wind gust. Christian, you're welcome for the updates. We've got Jack chiming in. Now, Jack is all the way up in Delaware, and I know Jack, so he's saying keep the cold and snow here. No, it's on the way to you, pal, and you can have it. You're supposed to have it up there, not us down here. This is your kind of weather. All right, I was waiting for somebody to ask this question. What about school? Of course, Monday's the holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we don't have to worry about school then. Most schools are out. But Cheryl wants to know, what do we expect about school on Tuesday? Your guess is as good as mine right now. I know it's going to be cold, and I know that some schools canceled because of the wind today. So I don't always know like the criteria people cancel on, but if it doesn't take much to cancel school, perhaps Tuesday will be called off. But as it turns out, we may wind up with some snow on the ground by Tuesday, and that would be a justification in my mind to call off school. Here we go with Bloomington. Adam chiming in from just up the road. Appreciate you watching from up there. Brandenburg, Susan saying hello. Here's another one. Aaron from Bloomington tomorrow night. Same kind of story. It's really all about the cold. Tomorrow as that front moves into Bloomington, likewise. It's limited with the moisture. Doesn't mean there's none, but I'd say a half inch of snow would be a pretty decent snow out of this system to move through. Could see it there. Jeannie says, just would like one good snow. Can we get it? This could be the year. I mean, this is a pretty awesome winter weather week. I don't think we get it all at once this week, but I do think we can see repetitive small snows this week. And without warmer temperatures, they're not going anywhere. So maybe it'll add up by the end of the week. We'll just have to see. Kay saying hello. Or Kay saying thank you. And Dana saying hello from Greensburg down in Greene County. We'll say hello to you. A lot of folks are talking about snow, but I should mention that I really feel it's the cold that's more important. Now, snow's probably more fun, but even snow when these temperatures are this cold is not fun. So we'll see how much we get. And maybe Joe will be right and don't think we'll get much snow at all. And I don't know what much is to you, Joe, but I don't think we're going to get much either. I think we could by Wednesday wind up with a couple of inches of snow, but to me, that's not much. Some people might think, well, that's a really good snow. I think 2 to 3 inches of snow on the front end of the week is possible. All right. From Grayson County. Grayson in Grayson County. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Grayson saying hello from Grayson and Pam Roberts. Well, hello, Grayson and Pam. Of course, I just spent a vacation with them. And Grayson's like, what? I'm not in Grayson County. Of course you're not. You're in Jefferson County. Let's see. I like memories. Laura Lee says, I'll never forget close to MLK holiday and the 94 storm, the first time I had seen and heard thunder snow. I know. Wasn't that wild? The thunder snow, massive amounts of snow, both here and in Shelby County. And then that was followed by the extreme cold. So that was a wicked time. 30 years ago. Isn't that hard to believe that? All right, let's tackle this one. Daniel's saying, the models I've seen everybody posting have changed so much within the day. Yesterday looked like a lot of snow. Here's the problem. Let me explain how the models work. When we're further than 84 hours away from an event, okay, so we're further out by several days, the grids on the models, so you could imagine if we had a dartboard, the grid is much wider. So we're looking spatially at something that we only have a few data points on. So the data is limited. As we get within that 84-hour window, our grids are much tighter. So we have a lot more data points that help us fine-tune the forecast. And as we get even closer, we're able to send weather balloons up and even ingest even better data. So that's when we get into the high resolution data and we can really start to see what we think is going to happen. So what you've seen the last few days, Daniel, happens to be grids that are really, I won't call them worthless, but when you're trying to nail down a snow forecast and totals, it becomes very, very tough. For temperature trends, they are much better. We can usually tell in the long-range modeling which way the temperatures will trend, down, up, gives a pretty good idea. But for precipitation, severe weather, anything that would need a specific and a higher precision, you can't count on those long-range models. We have to get closer to the event. So that's what we're seeing. And that's what we will continue to see as we get closer to it. All right. So let's jump in here. All right. Thank you for the pointing that out. Laura, surprise. Yeah, I would like to be headed to Florida. If anybody's going, has a little room in their suitcase, that sounds fantastic to me about right now. And then here's Susan on my side. Yes, no snow suits me. Snow keeps us busy. Alan, no. Alan, how can I possibly be the best if you're the best? You're the best, Alan. Alan owns the tea station, so I frequent his restaurant. All right, let's see. Here we go. This is true, Carrie. You never know in the Ohio Valley, 1 to 2 inches could wind up meaning 8 inches. Yeah, that's true. It again depends on a number of things. Forecasting is not easy in any stretch of the imagination, especially in the Ohio Valley, but snow forecasting is even harder. We have to take into the composite of the atmosphere, the profile of the temperature. Obviously, that matters. The forcing, where we have the lift, where we have the greatest amount of moisture, the snow ratios, which comes from that temperature profile. It's tough, but we do our best. And usually we're pretty good. If it's going to be cold, we need plenty of snow to look at. I'm not disagreeing with that. If it is going to be cold, we might as well have the snow. Jesse appreciates the live feed. Well, you're welcome, and we appreciate you watching the live feed. Angie, remembering back Christmas of '04, where 28 inches of snow in Bourne. I remember that too. That was crazy. And I think this is important. Aaron points out that Paoli Peaks will be happy. After the past several winters, I'm surprised they're still open. I mean, could have been open more than a week. What, last year? I don't even know if they opened last year. And the year before that, it was terrible too. So hopefully, yes, they're like cranking out the snow. They will appreciate this cold snap that we're in. That's a good point. My aunt's on here. There's Debbie from Marion County. Appreciates the updates. Absolutely. And you don't have to watch the live stream. You can always text me, Debbie. Let's see. Beckett and Frank, bring on some snow. Some people wanting snow. Here's Chris. Chris is a big weather lover. We've known Chris for a long time. Model's still showing overrunning late next week. Yeah, that's going to be the next thing. Not as much overrunning, but really, I think snow. I think we stay cold, especially if we get any amount of snow on the ground through next week, which would be, lighter precip amounts, fall of snow. If it gets heavy enough, could have the overrunning. And that just means where we wind up seeing precipitation fall in the form of rain on the cold surface, which would yield some ice. But I suppose we'll wind up seeing more of a snow chance. There's Jeff. Sunday through Tuesday, looks like south of Louisville gets to. I think that is where we have the better chance, at least with the guidance that we have now, Jeff. So we'll see how that works out. A lot of folks want to see the snow. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for your questions here. I'm just thumbing through a lot of the hellos. I'll say hello to everybody. And here's one from Laura Lee saying that JCPS is going to send folks home with Chromebooks and chargers in case they have NTI. Yeah, I heard that in the mayor's briefing today. We'll see. Takes a minute for these to refresh, and we're running down the list here. So I'm about to wrap it up. We've got new data coming in. I've got to update the app. I've got to update everything else. And now Rascal Girl wants to know what happened to the high winds that were supposed to happen today. All right. Well, I'm going to answer your question because I don't know what you consider high winds, but I felt like we had decent winds today. Now, the problem in the forecasting world is if there's a high wind warning and one person doesn't get wind damage, or we wind up with a tornado warning and everybody doesn't get a tornado, then some people are like, well, why the warning? I didn't get it. Well, it doesn't always happen in everybody's backyard, but we can't forecast for just one person or one location. So when we look at the winds from today, you're going to see that we did have 51 mile per hour winds over in St. Matthews. That's nothing to sneeze at, right? So, Rascal Girl, I think it was worthy of the wind advisory, the high wind warning. Maybe they could have done without that, but it was worthy of the alert day. We always flag alert days sort of to say, hey, over here, pay attention. The weather could impact your plans. And essentially, that's what happened today. So we're going to continue to see more impacts coming our way over the next few days. So that's what we have to look forward to. All right. I'm going to go back down. Sorry, I'm working on this computer here, and it is like grinding to a halt on me. Come on, baby. All right. Let's just put our split back up. Well, not quite finished. It's trying to rush me along here. There we go. All right. That was that comment. Let's see. There's Billy from Big Clifton. And again, there's Maria saying they didn't have that much wind in Shelbyville today, though a couple places in Shelbyville did pick up 50-mile-an-hour winds. So it just didn't cause a lot of problems today, which is okay. But we still had the 50-mile-an-hour wind. Did it get up to 60 like we thought it could have? No. But we did get into the low 50s. That was very similar to Tuesday. It was enough to cause just a few problems across the area. All right. That is going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody's comments. We appreciate everybody jumping on with us here. We'll do these as we have alert days that warrant. So if we get into this winter weather period where we're going to have slick conditions or the weather's going to be problematic, or if we have time and can just jump on and chat, we like to do that. So we'll be back on as necessary. Brian Goods here early in the morning for Saturday sunrise. I'll be back here tomorrow evening for Saturday evening's newscast. I think we're preempted by football at 6 o'clock, but maybe that'll be a good time for me to jump on here and we can have a conversation about what the early part of the week looks like, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I'll go look at the data that we have coming in now. I'm going to make a decision on Saturday whether that needs to be an alert day or not. Otherwise, I hope that everybody has a great night and a good weekend, and just stay tuned to WAVE. We're going to be here with updates, and just remember, if you ever see the alert day tag, that's a day you got to pay attention to. As we look a little closer, we'll be able to give you an idea of what you can expect moving forward. So I'll say good night for now, and as we do that, I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you back here on WAVE News at 11 o'clock.